Hello everybody, my name is Chidi, Dr. Chidi Cadet Nwanyanwu. Today I want to address an issue that I've heard a couple of times from people, and it is concerning the African Action Congress AAC and our presidential candidate, Dr. Omoyele Sowore. A lot of people keep saying, oh, we've not seen him, he hasn't come to our place, he hasn't campaigned to us. But the people who are saying this are people who already know about him, people who already know about our party. Well, one thing I want you to know is that we should stop making it about the person. This is not about Sowore. This whole fight is about young people, it's about youth, it's about what mess this country has been pushed into. And what I want to tell you today is, if you take time to study the vision of the African Action Congress, if you've taken time to study the manifesto of the African Action Congress, which is contained in our 10-point agenda, which we represent with the acronym SPICER HIT, I'm going to run through that shortly, you would see that that is what you should focus on. But if you think that the situation in Nigeria is perfect, if you think that everything is okay, if you think there is no reason for us to demand a change, if you think there is no reason for us to demand that our past leaders be brought to book and be held accountable, then don't even be bothered about young people taking over power or young people participating in the politics of the day. But if you ever think that our past leaders have messed up this country, if you ever think that people who we've proven that they stole our money, people that we've been proving we are corrupt, if you ever think that they should not smell the seat of power in Nigeria, then what you should do is stop worrying about Omoyele Sowore and whether he has visited your village. You should be worrying yourself about those old men and women in the village who may not have access to the technology that you have access to. You that is listening to this thing right now, you should be mobilizing people in your area to make sure that they do not, I don't care if you don't vote for AAC, just make sure you don't vote back the people who stole from you. Make sure you don't vote back the people who destroyed our hospitals, the people who destroyed our schools, the people who ate the money that was supposed to be used to build good roads. In fact, to build any road at all. The people that stashed all this money, and now when it is time for politics, they are sharing this money around. I am begging you that you do not vote for these people who refuse to embark on any poverty alleviation program. The people that refuse to empower people and allow them to stay poor, so that now that it's election period, they would have become so hungry, they would have become so desperate that now when they start sharing the 1,000, people will take that money. I just watched a video that showed people lining up for an APC, I think it was APC primaries or something, and they were sharing money to those people that were going to vote. They were sharing money to them openly. That was terrible. That's how bad things have become. So please, I don't want us to keep on with this thing of waiting until the person comes to your doorstep, until the person comes to tell you what you already know. You don't need anybody to tell you that you're suffering. If you're suffering, you know it. You don't need anybody to tell you that because they didn't build good roads, the accident that keeps happening in your village keeps happening. Because you see, the accidents happen. You don't need anybody to tell you that that there are no drugs in the hospital and people are dying, because when was the last time you went to the hospital and you got all the drugs that you need? So you don't need anybody to come and tell you these things. If you're feeling it, then you know it. They say he who wears the shoe knows where it pinches. That is if you have any shoe at all. So please, let us stop making this about Omoyele Sowore or about AAC. Let us make it about you yourself. Mobilize people in your area. Study our vision. If you believe in what we are talking about, if you believe in our ideology of good governance, then you should be an ambassador of good governance. If not, under AAC, please find a credible party, especially the party where young people are driving that party, not those parties that have been bought over by people who have ruined this country. They have ruined you and I, so let us not fall victims to these people. Our mumu don't do. And I was telling you about the 10-point agenda or the manifesto of the African Action Congress. Remember, I told you it is captured in the acronym SPICER HEAT. SPICER HEAT is SPICERHEAT. Now, S is for security, where we're going to, that is our primary assignment as soon as we take over power. We're going to ensure that people go around their businesses in Nigeria without fear of molestation, without fear of kidnappers. We're going to ensure that there's adequate security so that even the foreign investors that want to come to Nigeria and establish their business, their safety will be guaranteed, because that is one of the primary reasons why we cannot get people to come back to Nigeria to invest, and they're running to countries like Ghana. Now, the next is power. We have a fantastic program in the expanded manifesto. You see where we tell you about our plans to use renewable energy like solar energy, like wind turbines, where we can harvest wind through turbines and convert it to energy, like solar energy, like so many forms of energy that we can, cheap forms of energy that we can use to boost the energy generation and ensure that factories run without run with constant power supply. I is for infrastructure, where we would make sure that all the infrastructure in Nigeria is taken care of, and we build roads, bridges, and all of these things. The next is corruption. We're going to have zero tolerance for corruption. You've heard Omoyele Sowore talk about locking up everybody who has been involved in corruption. He's going to do it. We are really committed to doing that. So if you're a corrupt person and you cannot afford to change your ways and ask for forgiveness and actually do restitution, then Nigeria will not contain you and the African Action Congress. We're going to make you vomit all that money that you ate, give up all those houses that you bought with our money that you stole. And now the next is our economy. We will take measures to boost our economy. Nigeria is a great country. Everybody talks about Nigeria being a very fantastic country. Our population is a population that is ready to consume anything that you produce. People are rushing to Nigeria. Companies like what's this telecom, MTN, they came to Nigeria and they recapitalized within a few months. They were a small company in South Africa, but they had to move their headquarters to Nigeria. That is how very lucrative Nigeria is. If Nigeria was not lucrative, why is Lever Brothers still here? Why are all the oil companies here? Why do you think they're still here? Why haven't they run back to their countries? Because there is something that they see in Nigeria. So we're going to boost the economy of Nigeria by the different plans that we have. We're going to, we're great promoters of restructuring. We believe that except Nigeria is restructured, the present system is not going to get us anywhere. We're going to devote our attention to health. We're going to earmark a great percentage of our budget to health. We're going to create a health system like we have in other parts of this world. A health system that guarantees that people can walk into a hospital, get treated without having to worry about paying for the doctor or paying for the medicine. There will be an insurance scheme that will favor everybody. We know this is doable because we have lived in places where this is in operation. Education has been bastardized, and we have perfect plans to ensure that Nigeria regains its place of glory as one of the best places to study. I remember those days in school, in my primary school, I had Indians, I had Chinese teachers who used to come to teach in our country because of how good and how advanced our education system was. When people went outside to read, I remember those days we would even be yabbing them, we'll be saying, oh, because they couldn't pass into universities or schools here in Nigeria, they had to go outside the country. We're going to bring back those days, and we're going to make Nigeria a place where people come from all parts of the world to study. It is doable. The other one is agriculture. We will employ advanced methods of agriculture to embark on large-scale farming, and we'll have enough food to feed our country and to also export to other parts of the world. Lastly is tourism. We go outside this country to places that are not half as beautiful as Nigeria. We go to places that are seasonal, but in Nigeria, our tourism industry can operate for the 12 months of the year. So imagine if in other countries they have like 3 months of which they have to operate their tourism industry, and we have 12 months. That means we can make 4 times the amount of money that these countries make. And what do they have that we don't have? We go to visit their beaches. We have wonderful beaches in Nigeria. We have beaches that nobody has even discovered in Nigeria. We have mountains. We have Obudu Cattle Ranch. We have caves. We have everything you can think about in Nigeria. We are going to develop these things, and tourists will come back to Nigeria. All those that go to other places, they will flock to Nigeria. They can come every time of the year because we have good weather all the time. Now, this is in a nutshell what our party ideology is all about, what our manifesto is all about. So please, if you agree in what you have seen, if you think that it sounds reasonable, could you just be an ambassador of AAC? Could you be an ambassador of Sowore? Could you just go ahead and mobilize the people in your area and not wait until when we come to you? That is what is important. That is what we should be worrying about, because this fight is a collective fight for young people to take our country back from those people who have messed us up for a long time. Our mumu don't do. My name is Dr. Chidi Cadet Nwanyanwu, and I'm the governorship candidate for the African Action Congress, Enugu State. Thank you for listening.